the little TV guide app that I have. Here it's called. Oh, it's literally just. Oh wait, hold on. You can't see. Blurred. Damn
I'm screwed. I'm gonna get a different hat.
it. So it's a little app. It's literally the app is literally called Buffer actually. So I set up all
Oh,
my channels on
that's
my
cool.
accounts, so you can just put all your links in like one little box, and it sends them all out simultaneously. It's how I can cross post between Substack, my WordPress blog, and everything else for my thing.
What?
So who knows? We might get a little extra. We might get some new faces this time around. So
Yeah,
Cool.
that'd be nice. Yeah, we're kind of growing. Like, there's been a lot of new faces lately.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my Substack side going.
Yeah, that's okay.
Same.
join now. Let's see.
Huh?
Uh,
Prompting me to start the live video on Substack side. Is that going to affect us on?
Yeah, go ahead and prompt it because I'm
Yeah.
live on StreamYard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm live on Twitch as well, so we're good on that front. So go ahead, start the Substack live.
All right,
Reloading
mute it on this side.
and view invite. Accept invite. View stream page. Oh wait, no.
Is this going to be one of those where I'm alone on Substack again?
I'm here.
Maybe not. Hold on, maybe not.
Again.
No, you're fine.
Oh my god. Okay.
No.
Oh,
All right, yeah.
it says we're live. I just
Yeah,
got a little
so-
thingy. Yeah.
Okay, so
Nice.
here's a little update. Here's a little fix that they made. So, all right, Neuro, I'm with you on Substack. So in Sushi, you got when you accept the invite and then just
Yeah.
go into like the main page, like you're going to watch the live. But we're already once you accept the invite, you're already part of it.
Well, I've been trying to do that, and it's making me do this weird stuff.
This is so on my
Oh, here we go.
I'm
View
by
invite.
myself.
I got it.
Did you
I
get my
got it.
invite
Yep.
again?
Yeah. Yeah. So
No,
we should be
you're
good.
that's a new one. I don't know how to say that. I almost said Siobhan, but there's no B in there. Sionen? I don't know if I'm saying that right. EW, Stacy Carney, Lefty Prof, Gillian,
Nice.
Jay,
Marissa, Karma, JC Porter.
Jay. It's Jay.
Oh, JC Porter.
Yeah.
JC Porter.
Yeah, no, I want to say Jai too because I think of like chai tea and
Chai tea, coffee with some cream.
I still don't see you.
Yeah, I went to your live, and it's just you, Nero. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, because I think you might have
This has
started
happened
the live.
before.
From,
There's
live
some
from
kind
Substack.
of like if you're on YouTube, it's going to show all of us. But for some
Yeah.
reason, sometimes Substack decides to do this thing where it separates us.
Oh, did you add the new stream key into StreamYard when you added the destination?
I did, but
It might be a different one, slightly different, or maybe it's a different URL. They might have changed the URL system when they fixed the bug.
but I did that today, so I don't know why it's not showing up.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Oh, let me see. Let me go-
sorry, Julie.
Oh no, we're fine. My life is full of technical difficulties, so no worries.
Yeah, I don't know how to add the stream key again while I'm live.
Oh, okay. So you got to open up a new tab in StreamYard. Just log in normally on StreamYard, and then you got to go in and edit the destination directly in your destinations on your like main hub in StreamYard, like your main account.
Yeah.
It's not just like a case by case with a specific stream. You got to go in and change the destination on your account entirely each time.
Well, I know that. I added the new tier.
I know.
I didn't know that. So hey.
I'm just gonna do it again.
Maybe I'll go to Tiggs.
I
No, technology.
don't mean to be dramatic or anything. I'm having a fibro flare too, so this is extra fun.
Oh boy! On top of the fibromyalgia, that is the worst.
Oh yeah, I'm just dealing with it.
Yes, it is. It's not fun.
No, fibromyalgia is not for the faint of heart. It's not fun.
No, it is not. It
How do I edit while we're
sucks.
I'm not sure how to do that.
live? Okay, hang on. Da-da-da-da.
just in case, I'm starting a little quick backup live on my Substack. I'll invite you guys there as well.
Cool. Yeah, I did not do my Substack, so I'm just
And
on.
do I transfer to that with where I am, or do I need to go in and?
Hang on, everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, what's going on here?
I'll invite you as well.
Okay.
Julie.
No, I don't. Grr. All right, folks. Are you live on Substack, Tig, or Sushi?
Not yet.
No.
We got time.
I tried to find it, and then I went to your page, and it's just you.
Yeah,
It's not the whole panel. So
I know I added the new stream key, so I don't know what's going on. I sent invites to you again, but we still need to be able to show Julie.
yeah.
Oh, what the heck?
Well, I mean, I can talk into the black hole too. I don't care.
Oh my god! I'm like,
I
I'm trying
don't have to
oh.
be on screen. It doesn't matter to me.
Oh no, you will be on. You will be on stream because you're on stream through StreamYard.
Yo, okay. Gotcha.
But I
Yeah.
think Substack might have a max of like 2 co-hosts.
Yeah, it
per,
does.
Mainstream.
It's
Yeah.
silly. It is very, very silly.
Yeah.
I think they are allowing it to now do like up to 3 because I've noticed that they've like been like on some of the shows they're able to have 3 people, but it's not more than that, which is silly because if you've got a panels are, can be 6 or 10 people, it just
I don't know
Sure.
how to fix it while live. I'm think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to end this and start over.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
You're
All
on
right.
it?
I'm on it. Yep, I am on it right now. So
How did you
stream
get-
display. How did I get there? I opened another tab. So Substack does have like a maximum of you have when you start a host, when you're like hosting a live, you have a maximum of 2 co-hosts.
Oh, okay.
Like, max 3 people total in the
I
call.
know.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's not what I meant to paste. I meant to paste the stream key into the private.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hold
That
on.
is not it.
Nope.
Hold on, I got it. 1 second. Okay, just checking over everything, make sure it's okay. Good. Edit server. All right. My destination got changed about last minute. Okay, good. So I'm gonna reload. I'll be right back, and I'll come back with the destination. All right.
No worries.
Okay. So Tig is gonna come back in case nobody heard that because I don't even know what people can hear. I can't even see the chat.
Yeah, we're just like in blabber zone
I'm
right
in
now.
some
That's okay. It says everybody can hear me. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I've got a little screen that says you're live and everybody
Yep.
can hear me. So, I mean,
Yep, that's
I can
good.
start singing. I won't dance, but I'll,
Can you
although
see-
I can, but it might be a little rusty right now. So,
Look, and we're back, ladies and gents. All right.
all right.
I'm still by myself.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I have the copy links. I'm gonna post both of them in the private chat in the comments here on StreamYard for you.
There you
So
go.
that is 1, and 1 for Neuro, and 1 for Sushi. So you guys can either click either one of those, and Neuro, yours is the first one, and Sushi, yours is the next one. So yeah, so you click those.
Oh,
both.
okay. So everybody go find the new one.
Yes.
Just leave this one.
Me too?
No.
Julie, you
No,
stay.
I stay where I'm at. Okay.
Yeah, Julie, you
All right.
stay put.
Chat.
All right. I'll stay here.
And this one.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
press the
no.
buttons.
Keep the live. Keep the live. We are good. I just changed the destinations. We're live on everything.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
Neuro, stay put. So
Well, I can see you guys.
Yeah,
and I can hear you guys. So, yeah, and I see
Yeah.
it. You guys are on here now.
I'm on
I just
myself.
gotta.
Yes. Okay. So, you guys.
You're
stay
there.
put. Yeah, and we are live on Substack's end as well. So, yep, live on Substack's end as well. So you guys can just
Okay.
yeah. So we're good. All of us are here. All of us here on
I
Substack.
can't see it.
Yes.
So just go on Substack and just click my little label on the live. Everyone's here.
Okay.
Everyone's here.
Okay.
Wait.
And we're good on Twitch on my end. We're good on Substack. Okay, we're good.
All
All
right.
right. Tig, there you are. Okay.
So, yes. So, we all need Tig
Ah.
Oh,
For
there's Tig.
chat.
Okay.
all
Look
the
at that
time.
one. Everybody go to Tig's.
All
Yeah.
right, everybody.
So, we all need Tig.
Ah.
I will.
Oh, there's Tig.
sorry.
But I know who I'm calling for tech support now. For
Right?
I'll be like,
Big is
how do I
the-
do this on Substack? Yeah.
I still can't. Okay. Oh, there's the chat. All right. I'm
Yep.
not gonna close that yet. I'm gonna.
Well, we have
right here.
Tamara
So everybody go
Johnston.
there. If you're still in this chat,
Joe.
the link
There
that
we
I
go.
shared is
Welcome
still
everyone.
there.
Hello, Tamara.
I'll
Hello,
give you a few
Joe.
seconds.
Hello, Tara Johnson. Hello, Joe.
How come I can't hear?
Before I close it out. So we're all over there where I just posted in the chat.
I'm not a weird
Sorry about that,
angle.
everybody. Wow.
It's
Oh, there we go.
house, but yeah. Okay.
Tamara like Sahara. Oh, I love that.
Oh,
Hello,
Tamara.
Cool.
Thank you, Tamara, for correcting me. Thank you.
I'm gonna end this one.
Marisa. Marisa.
Okay, it looks like people are starting to come over from the other side because Tamara was over there. I saw that. Hello,
Yeah,
to
Stacy over here.
Stacy. Okay, yep, she migrated over. All right. Woo!
No, like a no,
we
like
need
I
to
dare.
Yes,
tech issues, and then sometimes we.
Yeah,
Okay. So
again.
Tamara like Sahara, like no, like I dare ya. Like
My life
Tamara,
is a
like I
series
dare
of technical
Tamara.
glitches every day, so not a big deal.
Hello.
Hello. We're gonna wait a couple minutes and see who pops in the chat before we get started with tonight's show.
Oh,
Right.
it's gonna be a good one.
Julie, could
Tamara
you
like a dare
put your camera
Tamara
down
like a
just a
dare
little bit so we can see you?
Camera. Oh, okay.
Richard Hogan, hello.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a new
trying to like figure out the best way to like prop it up
Yeah,
based on
so
where I'm sitting. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a little difficult.
you're
with
just
phones.
like this
You're on
tiny
the
head on
tripod.
the horizon right now.
Oh, is that better? Or is
Yeah.
that
A
okay?
little bit more
That's a lot
down.
better.
Yep, that's better.
Oh, okay.
Just so we can see your
Then you get the
face.
boob shot. Yeah.
You gotta get the
I'm gonna have to sit. Hi. We do it
The
too much.
button.
Jan's gonna get my chest, and it's not all that exciting. So you know.
Yeah, you have to get that bus shot. You gotta get that bus shot.
There you go. Blonde it if you got it, right?
All right, there you go. All right. So I think we've got. how
We
many
have
people we got
8.
here?
I think we have enough to get started.
Yeah. So Tig, do you want to do the disclaimer first?
Well, yes, the disclaimer should go first.
All right,
Absolutely.
I guess that's my cue.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mindhaven. Mindhaven is a safe space and weekly podcast for discussing mental health topics and stories about mental health conditions from those with lived experience. We are not mental health professionals. If you are in crisis, please do not DM any hosts or participants. Instead, see the sources and links for support and resources below. And with that being said, let's get to it. Our special guest today, Julie.
Yep,
Julie
Julie Roebuck.
Hello.
All right.
All
Okay.
right.
All right,
You wanna
well,
introduce yourself a
everyone,
little bit?
welcome in. We want to give a warm welcome to Julie. Tonight's topic is about surviving a cult, and Julie has lots to say about that. So, that being said, go ahead and take the floor.
All right. Well, thanks guys for having me. This is my very first Substack live at least for me, like being live. So I'm happy to be breaking that ice with you guys. So that's
Right
awesome.
on. We're happy to have you.
Yeah. So I think as I was thinking about this conversation and the things that we would be talking about and everything, I was like, some people think of cults as, me growing up, cults were like the Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid and the Waco and the Heaven's Gate and all, those kinds of things. Don't think about it as much in, certain religious settings as it kind of does become. But as a person who lived in this particular religion, which is being a Jehovah's Witness, when my parents were involved in it their entire life, and I was only involved until I didn't live there anymore and could not have to be involved. So, but that's kind of what we're going to be chatting about a little bit. I think the big thing about any kind of a cult and the biggest impact it has in your world is it really does sort of mold your entire worldview. and in such a skewed way. You have to really think about that, especially as you are deconstructing from a lot of those kinds of things. And that is quite a process once you get through there. Um, do you want me to kind of go as we're talking just a little bit about the religion and kind of what, sort of the earlier kinds of things, and then kind of talk about how I sort of broke from that? Is that sort of your thought process? Is this about what you'd
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to chat
yeah.
with? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
If
So we're
it's
going to
okay,
do the clip, right?
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Let's play
yeah,
that.
the clip.
So cult survivor and expert Daniela Messianic Young, also known as Knitting Cult 80, twice published author with Uncultured and the Culting of America, a survivor born into the Children of God cult, later earned a degree in organizational psychology. There's a short video of hers where she talks about 10 criteria for something to qualify as a cult. And now I have to go and find that link because I have found the chats with our tech support from our live snare. And let's see, how did I do this before? So I did it earlier. I stopped. I'm not sharing the screen yet. Anyway,
I can take care of it if you need me to.
Oh, huh?
I can take care of it. I can.
Oh, if you can do it faster, great.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna show the little clip right here. Share screen. Chrome tab. No ad. Go away. There we go.
You got to put it on stage.
Yep.
Before I consider it a cult.
There it is.
And the only one of us I know of with a degree in organizational psychology to become a cult expert. And the cult baby, one of us. I think I have a little bit of a different perspective on the spectrum of cults compared to some other experts. I think some other experts seem to try to make it like, yeah, sure, this is a cult, but it's less bad than this kind of cult. People have especially tried to say this to me because I wrote a book about growing up in the Children of God religious cult, the pedo cult, and then comparing it to going into the cult of the U.S. Army. And people will say to me, well, obviously, there's a big difference between the U.S. Army and the Children of God. And you know what? You're right. The U.S. Army has raped and murdered a lot more people than the Children of God. However, I think of it like this. There's a spectrum of group. There's not a different point at which you stop being a normal group and become a cult. There's a spectrum of group, and you're more culty or less culty by how many of these things your group has. Once you get to 10, you're here on the extreme level where we have cult, gang, and terrorist group, and probably army. And now, how extreme you're going to get is just a matter of time, money, and impunity. Groups like the United States military, the Mormons, and the Children of God, and Scientology have had much, much time, money, and impunity. Let's throw Alcoholics Anonymous in there as well, which is why they have gotten so extreme. I'm Daniela, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. I wrote a book called Uncultured about growing up in these cults. You can get signed copies of critically acclaimed book on that shop, or you can listen to it on Spotify Premium right now.
Thanks for the plug.
Sorry, coming back to talk about the second part of the question, is it objective or subjective, right? What we call a cult is always going to be subjective. We're always going to argue about the definition, and the word has become heavily loaded. I think when we need to ask what cult actually means, we need to go back before the definition and say, how are we using this? When we say the cult of Rocky Horror Picture Show or the cult of Dionysus, god of wine, right? We are just saying back to the throwback, a special interest or obsession, nothing pejorative. When we say someone's in a cult, we are trying to say that person has come under coercive control. And that's what it means. I think that while it is very, very subjective, I don't think anyone sits around after a good, non-coercive, non-exploitative group experience and thinks, was I in a cult? Even good cult. When we have a good group experience, good cult doesn't come up. That only comes up when people are trying to say, but can I unhealthily manipulate people and hack personality and get an unhealthy amount of dedication to my cause, but for the good guys. And there's this really good song by Candy Carpenter, who does deconstruction music, and it's called Like in a Vampire Novel. And she says, "Make me a vampire. I promise I'll only eat the bad guys." And that's what I hear whenever I hear people asking me if you could have a good cult. Who made you the decider of what's good? Who made you the god that can go choose to manipulate people? But your cause is the good one.
All right.
Thank you, Tig. All right.
It also
I know
is a-
some people really get upset when she talks about AA being a cult.
Yeah.
And, you don't have to agree with her.
Yeah.
No, she
Yeah.
probably has more authority being a survivor and an expert on it, a credentialed expert. But you don't have to agree to her.
Yeah, but even though it's the way that word is used oftentimes. Like, I mean, caffeine is technically a drug, but we don't when you think the word drug, you think of something like cocaine, heroin,
Right,
etc.
right,
You don't
right.
think of caffeine, even though it is a drug, but
And sugar.
common. You don't think of it that way. People think of the word cult like, oh God, human sacrifices and whatnot. But it still
In
applies.
this particular video, she doesn't bring up Jehovah's Witness, but I've watched several of her videos, and I've read Uncultured. I haven't gotten around to Culting of America yet, and she has referenced Jehovah's Witness. And I've known some people are Jehovah's Witness, and I would agree that that's definitely a cult.
Yep.
Anyways, we should give
Anyway,
the spotlight back to Julie.
Yep. Yep. With that being said, let's put the floor with Julie.
Julie, I think Julie might be frozen again.
Did you freeze again?
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Okay, so I'll message her, and
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We've been having a lot of tech issues this evening, but we're trying to work through it. So thanks for being here and sticking it out.
Julie, come back. Oh my God.
I just messaged her again. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
We were having a really good pre-show conversation with Julie.
Yes.
Although I had to miss part of that because I had bodily functions to take care of.
Good to see you too, Kimmy.
Oh my God.
Oh, here. Tamara says something here. Someone once advised me to just give my kid a Coke because I was dealing with whether or not I believed that he was really ADD. And I was really questioning whether to give him medication, and then respond to that. I asked, isn't that still drugging my kid? Oh,
Yeah. Hey, Julie.
Julie's back.
Julie back? Okay.
Hold on. No, wait. I don't know
You got
yet.
stage? Wait. No,
Still frozen.
still frozen. Yay. What a day.
Oh, I just heard another ad. So.
Where did I leave off, or where did I freeze?
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay.
Like before you even really started talking. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the
So
floor
I
is
just
yours.
was going all over the place. Okay, all right. Well, maybe the second time it comes out of my mouth, it'll be a little more coherent. Who knows?
Okay. Hey, so we have our guests back. Hey, Lisa Joy and Keith. Thanks for joining us. Now that we have Julie back on stage, we'll let her get going with the convo.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure where I started, but I grew up in a time when my version of a cult, or what I thought was a cult, was sort of the Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid crowd. And certainly there's a lot of different things that are a little more subtle in their control, and then in some ways they're not so subtle. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, and that in my period of time being there, and then watching my parents live it for the rest of their lives before they recently just passed, it's very much in my mind a cult-ish behavior. They weren't asking anybody to drink the Kool-Aid, but they certainly were very much into the piece that said, if you do not believe, or if you are not a part of all of this, and you don't have this belief, then you are not loved. You are not a part of, you are not going to be the person who's going to live forever in this paradise earth that whatever their concept of what all that was going to be. Um, their theology is very different than a lot of religions in the sense that there's no Trinity. They believe that there's only 144,000 that would go to heaven, and then everybody else would be here on earth. And then at some point, there's going to be a destruction of all the wicked, inherent, terrible, awful things that happen if you're not a Jehovah's Witness. And then people who are already dead can come back and decide whether or not they want to become, a person that, would want to live this way, in this paradise earth and do their thing. So it always was very confusing to me because I was like, okay, so if somebody's not dead and they're not a witness, but they're a nice person, they're toast. But then, like, the murderer that's dead can come back and have a choice. So it never made a whole lot of sense to me. But that's also probably what saved me, is because I have one of these very logical brains that, you know, not a lot of, like, there's just a lot of weird stuff in there. Um, so, which I think probably helped me, down the road. So, but I think, one of the biggest things that cult behavior does is it really changes, especially if you grow up in it. And I was very young when my parents became Jehovah's Witnesses, and it completely skews your entire worldview, and you see things through these lenses, and it's not really an accurate worldview. And I mean, we all have our own worldview because of our experiences. So all of us have a little bit of difference in those things. But, there are some things that are pretty black and white that are maybe not necessarily, or most assuredly aren't really talked about or a part of when you are involved in this kind of a situation. Everybody else is sort of demonized. You have these people that are demonized, and you are kind of taught to be extremely judgmental and closed-minded, and you can't think outside of their little box because that's not allowed. There's no critical thinking skills that are ever allowed. If you have I mean, there was a phrase that was constantly drilled into my brain: bad associations spoil useful habits. It's like their mantra. I mean, it is that whole thing. If you are doing something that is not part of their little circle, it is going to spoil anything that you have going for you.
That was an interesting one. Bad associations spoil useful habits. Like the word useful in there.
The useful part is kind of interesting because it's like, well, what is useful about these habits? And the useful part is continued control, really, if you analyze it. I mean, you think about that later on. I never thought about it that, as a kid. It was like, oh, okay,
Useful. Like it's honestly a very medieval mindset in a way. It's this acknowledgement that the world is crap. It's never going to get better, and it's going to all be destroyed one day. And the whole going to heaven is the only thing to look forward to. So
Yep.
this useful habit is basically just, if you work and do your dues, then you'll finally be able to rest and have the paradise you were promised.
Right. Except that the paradise wasn't in heaven unless you were part of the 144,000 and all the millions of people that have been alive. I'm like, well, how does one choose? And then I'm like, okay, well, how am I in Denver and I know 4 people that are part of these, like, 144,000? And if this whole thing has been a thing for for as long as it's been, wouldn't the 144,000 have already been picked like a bazillion years ago? I mean, when all of this started, again, my logical brain like mold these things around. I learned very young not to express those logical thoughts, because then, you don't question. This is God's opinion. And my mother was my mother was an ultimate narcissist. She and Trump would have gotten along beautifully. Very, very like my opinions are God's opinions. And I don't know how many times I heard that as a growing up. And, very pious and very hoity-toity, and thought that she did nothing wrong, and which is unfortunate because there were a lot of things that she could have done better.
Yeah.
She was a very angry person, and she had some good reasons to be angry. I mean, she had a lot of physical health issues, and so it made her cranky and made her, I mean, she had had a lot of stuff happen to her as a child. Physically, she had when she was 7, her back was broken by a merry-go-round. A thing came down and broke her back. One of the bars from and she was only 7. No, you may not, Cody. No, 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 no. He's giving me the grandma, I need your attention moment here. There's a Cody. Yeah,
Oh
Cody.
no, no, Papa. Oh, you
You're
bring
Joy
it.
Silly. Yes. Okay.
Oh
I'm
my
just gonna
god.
grab a treat. I'm not leaving. I'm just grabbing a treat so that he will.
Oh, you're good. Oh, look at
Yeah,
the
We get
puppy.
it.
it's a puppy.
So, but he,
Oh.
so you're gonna go sideways for just a moment. There we go. Okay. So yeah, just had to like get it back on track. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you lost my train of thought. There you go. Go sit down. That's it. No more. Um. So, all right.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry. I know. See my armpit and all the things. It's all nothing like live, right? Live is
Yeah,
better.
we're
Yeah,
live.
absolutely. So,
We're all human. We do what we do.
that's
We
right.
do,
That's
we
right.
do.
I like that
Yes.
that live streams are just more
They are. I think that's
real
what makes them fun.
than network.
Oh my god. Yeah. But
Yeah.
honestly, like the very like idea is like, oh, this is my word. And you said your mother was it was in Jehovah's Witness for her entire life.
No, she actually grew up in a Methodist church, which is
Oh.
kind of pretty chill as far as, in the grand scheme of things. So, as far as most
Ah. Yeah.
religions, I guess, are concerned. Not every Methodist church, but I mean, they're pretty general, I guess. Um, and so my grandmother, who all talk, and my grandmother and I, on more than one occasion, I had said to her, "Are you sure that she was not, switched at birth because you are so nothing like this, woman that you raised?" And she's like, "No, it was a home birth, Julie. I'm pretty sure we were."
I'm
They
pretty.
didn't take her, they didn't switch her, So,
Oh my
but
god.
I mean, so my mom was a polio survivor. She was a person who was, she had her back broken in 1935, and had to wear a steel brace. She was angry. She was, but I think part of that, she became very narcissistic because it always had to be about her. And she always had the better story. She always had the better um, problem, the bigger issue, and so, but she was also very, very controlling.
And she
And so,
found a religion that justified her suffering.
yes, and get this whole, when you have this kind of a religion too, I think they really pull in, you look at the white Christian nationalist movements and they pull in these narcissistic personalities. You know, I will say Jehovah's Witnesses, there are people who are racist that are Jehovah's Witnesses, but it is not part of the doctrine, or that part is not anything that was ever put forth. So I will say that at least if there's a positive, that could be one of the things that definitely was a positive.
And then there is a lot of intersectionality with the racism, and then you have the racial element justified by 100,000 or so people that are chosen.
Well, right. There is that. And, and it was like, well, what do you do to become 144,000? And then it was like, it's just a calling. And I'm like, okay. It never made a lot of sense to me, but I didn't, at the point that I cared enough to question it, I didn't care. That I was old enough to really like try to understand, because up to a certain point, they're just told this is what you're supposed to believe, period, and stop. Don't ask questions.
Don't ask.
This is it. You just read this book and read this book and read this book. And you can't read anything else. I was a really big reader. I loved to read, but I would sneak books in to read, you know, um, and then just like, kind of read whenever I was able to sort of, sneak away and get an opportunity to read something that was, something a little bit more worldly, if you will. And to a point, that was okay. If unless it had something that really specifically went against any kind of philosophies they had. Um, I remember when good boy code. Yes, there's a good boy. Yeah, my good boy. Um, when the book "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret" came out,
Oh yeah.
and I think I was I was pretty young, but old enough to read it, and I was like, oh, all my friends are reading this, I'll check it out, and they found it when I had checked it out and took it back to the school and threw this big fit about how it was in the library and all the things. And the librarian loved me. So she was like, yeah, your mother brought this back. She's like, um, anytime you want to come in and just read it, we'll just leave it back here for you to read it, and you can read it whenever and you don't have to take it home. So I was fortunate to have people in my world that allowed me to consume information. And it really wasn't anything that would have changed a doctrine. It was just about people having questions and being
Yeah.
able to ask them, And so, but again, that was not critical thinking, is not something that, you're allowed to do. And there's
Isolation is a major weapon against that.
isolation is a big weapon, and they isolate you in a lot of different kinds of ways. The social aspect, you can't associate with other people. Thankfully, I did have people that I knew and that were, either neighbors that had been neighbors for years, that I knew growing up from young age, people that I made friends with at school that I was able to actually have like intelligent conversations with throughout the years, about various things. But when you don't do birthdays and you don't do holidays and you don't do scheduled school events, and you're not allowed to do sports, and you're not allowed to do anything that's outside curricular, the fact that I was fortunate enough to be able to do anything musical was very was definitely a bonus for me, although my music was very controlled. So but when I was out, I could listen and do other things, but I could never listen to anything other than what my father put on the station, and that was it. And you actually broke the radio so that you couldn't turn it to another station and like listen for other things. It was a very controlled atmosphere. So and you only had certain things that you could watch on TV, and cartoons were not allowed. And that was my parents being a little over the top, because there were other people that I knew that were witnesses that would, watch cartoons. So,
It's
yeah,
open.
so,
I'm saying that the Jehovah's Witness is so like limited in terms of like its hard lines, that the only thing it really has
mhm.
going for it to sustain itself is the isolation. And even then, that's on like a sliding spectrum, honestly.
It is, and there are people who are less indoctrinated, and there are people who are hardcore. It's kind of like MAGA. If you think about those combinations, it's like you've got the hardcore MAGA people, and then you've got the people that are like, yeah, I voted for him, but now I'm not so happy about it, or whatever. There's different levels of
Flavors.
this. Yeah.
Flavors.
Yeah, the different flavors of all of that,
Oh,
but there
flavors.
are very big things, no military, no law enforcement. You couldn't be a part of any of that. There was no, um, you know, during the Pledge of Allegiance, I stood, you were told to stand out of respect, but you would not
Not
recite the pledge. You couldn't sing. And of course, I mean, I've sang the national anthem so many times now. But boy, I mean, that would have been that's a big no-no. So, there's so many things that they controlled, that it really was, it was just kind of a rough, I mean, that part was hard. Um, it, and it was really interesting how it affected some of my friends too. I mean, even just with the recent, with my parents passing away and having the recent memorial services and things that were related to this, a couple of my lifelong friends who were not witnesses, were like, we always felt so horrible that you just could never be part of anything, and it's like, well, we're still friends. So obviously we survived that. So, we're okay. But, they have a lot of medical things. Higher education was highly discouraged. I think it's a big parallel to MAGA as well.
yeah.
You,
Dumb them down.
the more uneducated you are, the more you're going to do that. The world is ending. So why do you need to, why do you need to know anything? And you finish the required education that you have to do for the state or wherever you live, and then you just go out and become a pioneer, and you go door to door every day for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours,
Mhm.
and just tell everybody about all this good news. So that was sort of.
Uh-oh,
Uh-oh, we lost her again.
Oh my goodness.
froze again. Dang it. I think she probably knows the routine by now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry,
All
chat. We're having
All
tech issues.
Let's see
Oh
what.
my
what
god! But
people
this
can
this
say
has
in
a
the chat.
this has a lively one today. This is a
Yeah.
lively chat we got today. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted that, right? I think isolation is the number one component required for a cult to emerge, and I think
Oh,
COVID brought the very conditions that Trump needed to overwhelm so many, because we were all isolated up to 3 years with only our phones.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of this, like,
Nicely stated, Tamara.
yeah, and
Or
a lot of
Tamara.
this,
How's
yeah.
that too?
Who said it earlier? Honestly, I think it was like Lisa Joy. It was oh wait, where's Julie come back? Okay, it says Lisa Joy said something earlier. Is
She's
it
back.
allows you to accept suffering. When there's a certain level of phrasing that the indoctrination forces you to accept suffering. Hey, Julie, welcome back.
Yeah, no, and I like that. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely it. And of course, there was a big thing about, um it would border on child abuse, I think, in definitely some areas of things. And again, that was depending on who you were in this. I mean, there's some people that were very much not, but uh, you know, accepting of that. But there were people that, took the whole spare the rod, spoil the child thing pretty serious, pretty literally, in the religion. And so you
Nope.
had that, the whole LGBTQ piece, huge issue that, um, certainly any premarital sex. I mean, kids would get, they'd get married at 16 because they wanted to have sex. They didn't care whether they loved the person or that they were mature enough to do this. They just, and it's, oh, go ahead and get married. Oh, have babies, do all the things, but how are we supposed to support these babies? And boy, that sounds like a whole lot of parallel that's happening right now as well.
For sure.
We've got, a lot of that happening. So, but then of course, if you did, screw up somewhere along the line, if you were a rebellious teenager, then, your father couldn't be an elder, or he'd have to step down to just being something less than that. Or maybe he'd have to even step down from the ministerial servant to just, just being, a, a person in the church, and so there was that whole hierarchy, but it was all misogynistic hierarchy too, because
Yeah.
there are no women leaders anywhere. Even now, nothing. I mean, it's just not a thing. It is very much men run, men dominated.
Serves absolutely no one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you screwed up, you also were publicly reproved. If you had not been baptized, you were publicly reproved. So, you would have to sit there, and then they would have this hour-long talk about this horrible thing that you did. And then they would tell everybody not to talk to you and not to, communicate or have any kind of relationship with you while you had to sit there, So there was that piece. And then, of course, if you had been baptized, which they did at least encourage, they encouraged people to be baptized later on in their, not as babies, but as, older, but I mean, some people were baptized at 7, 8 years old, and some people not until they were older. I got baptized so that I could be in my best friend's wedding or my friend's wedding, because I was not allowed to be in her wedding until I was baptized. And
Oh, my
so that was the whole reason I got baptized, because they she wanted me to be in her wedding. I mean, it was the friend that I had there, and interestingly enough, I couldn't tell you where she is right now. So,
The ultimatum is mind boggling,
oh yeah, oh, so many ultimatums, and the shunning piece is it's ugly.
Yeah.
It feels. I mean, here you are, someone who has been told that you are not worthy, and there's always the fear anyway. That's that whole, have this fear of God, and all of this horrible things, because he will take your life away, and boom, and you're not going to be able to do this, and you're not part of this. And then you make a mistake of any substance, and then you are shunned and treated poorly and talked about, and but you're still drug, if you're underage, or you have chosen to stay in the religion, you're drugged back into that
Yeah.
three plus days a week, to be able to have to sit through all of this, and to go through it, and to be continued to be shunned and not treated well, and not, and it is, it's humiliating,
Mm-hmm.
and and quite abusive. I mean, it is a very emotionally abusive piece of control. And
Oh,
yes,
sorry.
go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off or anything.
Oh no, please ask questions, because I'm just kind of rambling until, I mean, and I'm trying to like sort of, I made like 10 pages of notes, but I'm just gonna ramble until you guys tell me not to. So
No, I just felt like it was important to clarify, because like the word ultimatum was used a lot on me when I was establishing boundaries with abusers.
Mhm.
And so I think it's important that people understand the difference between boundaries and ultimatums.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not going through brain fog could maybe explain that.
I got it.
Thanks, Tiff.
Ultimatums is like, the way I see it is that there's two different kinds of consequences. One is that, like, you have a boundary. It's like, okay, if you do this, then I will do this. An ultimatum is like, okay, if you do this, I will do this to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And that is what it is. It was all about guilt and shame and guilt and shame and guilt
Punishment.
and
It's
shame and
punishment and
punishment.
punishment.
And, and people are like, but that's God, punishing child, just like you're supposed to, I'm like, okay, you want me. And again, this is where my logical brain would, like, even as a kid, would go, okay, you're telling me that God is supposed to be this loving, wonderful thing. But then you're telling me that he's going to kill me if I have this other thought. And then if I screw up, that I'm not worthy of his love. And so then it never made a lot of sense. And I think that's probably what saved me in the long run,
Yes.
because it just never made a lot of sense. But, when you're in the midst of all of that and you're being treated that way, and you have a narcissist for a mother who thinks that it's really all about her, because I have ruined her, and I have embarrassed her, and I have destroyed her reputation, and it doesn't matter, then you get all of those little pieces in there too. And so,
Oh
we had
my
a little
God.
bit of double whammies going on in that particular piece there. But
Yeah, the chaos is the point. The lack of
yeah.
the lack of stability, the lack of emotional safety and stability is the
Hmm.
whole damn point.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
the moment you land somewhere, then you turn around and see, I don't have to deal with this. The moment you
Mhm.
find safety, you see that that is not safe. So
Yeah.
you book it.
Yeah, and it's so amazing to watch people just completely walk away from their family. I mean, and not speak to them. They can live in the same house and not. I mean, my father didn't speak to me for a year and a half.
Because the chaos is
Not
addictive.
one word to me.
Yeah.
It's
And I lived in the same house as he did. I mean, it was just, and this was what he thought he needed to do, because that was part of the discipline and the whole 9 yards. And then, and then he was shocked that I didn't want to be there anymore. I'm like, gee,
Mm.
you think, I mean,
Right.
uh,
It's like, what do you mean? It's like when you're in it, you don't realize that the rest of the world sees it for what it is, and that kind of
Mhm.
chaos is a bit addictive. It's a lot like an abusive relationship.
It's
It is a
totally
lot.
like an abusive relationship.
It is
Yeah,
a
it
lot like
is
an abusive relationship.
1,000,000%. Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, the source of
Mhm.
comfort and the source of community is a very thing that gives you pain, suffering, shame, and punishment.
Right. But it also keeps you there because it's the only source of community you've ever known or had. So there's a comfort there in the midst of the uncomfortable, because it's all you know.
Yeah.
So if you're in something else all of a sudden, then you don't know how to respond to that, because it's totally different. So it can be, it's sort of this sort of cycle of spirally
And it gets
insanity.
deeper and
Yeah.
deeper. Yeah.
Yeah, it
You try
does.
to
And
quit,
I
and
think
then
that's, yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
try to quit, it makes you feel worse. It's a withdrawal response. Simply
Mhm.
because.
Yeah. And it keeps people sucked in because they're so afraid
Mm-hmm.
of losing that. And then, and that makes it difficult. So, and when, of course, you start to believe it too, because if you are 6 7 hours a week, just constantly hearing it, and as far as in the actual meetings, and then you're hearing it 24/7 during the day, and you're expected to regurgitate it, when you're seeing and saying and hearing and all the things, then it just becomes sort of this piece of you. And it's hard to let all of that go. I mean, sometimes you bury some of it, and sometimes there's big pieces you throw out, and then sometimes there's pieces that'll come up years later that you'll just be like, whoa, I didn't even remember how that made me feel until I just saw this, and now I can look at that and go, holy cow, there's so much of these extra connections there, or these little connections that you make with this kind of abuse. And so, I, I again, I think, and people don't want to lose everything and everybody they've known. That's scary all in itself. I mean, even if you aren't part of a cult, if you have to pick up and go somewhere where you don't know anything or anyone, and you're starting completely over, it's still scary. But if
Yeah.
you have nothing in your world, then that can be
Terrifying.
just, yeah, it,
I mean,
it can't.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like that kind of like early mentality, like early humans, when you're like, it's either stay in a village that is slowly killing you, or take your
Mhm.
chances in the woods. It takes a very special kind of human, a very special kind of
Mhm.
mental strength to take your chances with the woods and survive.
Right. Yeah. And you just, yeah, it is. Yeah, it can be a little scary.
I mean, the whole thing is scary, but it's for
you
someone
know,
to say.
and it's funny because I look at it now and I'm like, did I ever feel super? I mean, during all the shunning and all those things, you have that stick feeling in your stomach constantly, and you have the ugliness and things. But no, Cody, not right now.
Mhm.
You may wait. You don't get sassy with me either. No sassy pants. No sassy pants. No
Oh
thanks.
my god!
He's adorable. Yes, you'll hear the sassy pants here in just a minute.
Like,
Yeah.
no, you've been
So
bad. You just like
yeah.
stop his little pose.
Yeah, I think Nero has something to say.
Oh, go ahead.
That'd be 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Or no.
Yeah,
Well,
it went really
We
fast.
did get a late
Yeah.
start.
Wow.
We did get a
By a
late
lot of
start,
technical
so we
issues.
can
Gosh, I
do-
didn't even like talk about any of the how I got out of the crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
We can do a part 2.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Chad,
Yes.
do you want to see a part 2? I mean,
Oh my god,
I
we
wanna
need a
see
part two.
yeah, we can do a part 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to do that because there's just so. I mean,
Yeah, there's so much to talk about, and
Okay,
there
we gotta
so
really
get
little
is.
time,
Yeah.
right?
Such a critical
There's
issue
so
too.
much.
Yeah, and just even. I mean, we talked kind of about what it is, but it doesn't even
Well, we
know how
can
it
do
sets
a
you
part
up.
2
Yeah.
and like really dive deep from here.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Because
I want to.
I mean, I still have 9 more pages of things to talk about here. I mean,
Yes,
it's just,
and I want to learn more
I'm
about
kidding. I mean, I
more
have
about
a
the whole
lot. Yeah,
thing.
because just how it affected the way I thought about relationships going
Sure.
forwards, and
Yeah.
and how it made me a different teacher, and how it made me just a different person in general. I mean, and the things that brought me out of that and made a huge change. And so that's that's a whole other.
A whole nother segment. Right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh
So
my god.
anyway,
All right. So, and I know this conversation is deep. I love it so much, and we're gonna have to get you back. And
sure, absolutely.
yeah. So we like to end the show with a moment of joy, something that has brought us joy. Yesterday, today, last year, whatever. Something that brings you joy. So, go ahead, Julie.
Well, I mean, even though the reason I am here is not as joyous, there was a dear man that I knew, and but both of my girls worked for, and worked with in Grand Junction, Colorado, who in theater. Um, Passed away just recently, and so they went to his funeral, and so I have the joy of being able to have my sassy pants puppy here, who is so I get great joy of being around Cody, even though you're sassy pants, huh? Yeah.
Weekend at grandma's.
Yes, weekend at grandma's. Well, I'm actually at his house. It's a lot easier to take care of him, and plus I have kitties, so and the kitties are just like not super excited about Cody's exuberance. I mean, he would never hurt them, but he does want to play, and they don't understand, that when he's throwing balls and things under the bed, and barking at them, that's his way of trying to get them to play with him. So
You're not exactly sure how this is going.
exactly completely clear about the whole
How does
where
one
that
say?
connects. Yeah, they're like, okay, well, and I mean, they had come from sort of a scary situation, so their thought process of dogs is not as loving as Cody being I want to play with everybody, and I'll just roll over and just throw the ball, and I'll bring the ball to you, and you should just nudge it back to me, and everything will be fine. Yes, I know you need attention. Look, say hi. Yes, there you go. So,
Those are really the best.
they
Oh
are.
my God.
Healers are and he's such a sweetheart. I love healers in general, but he's a good boy.
I'll have to
Yes.
have my dogs with me next time you're on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'd love to
I have
see
3, so
all
like
the animals.
trying to
Yeah.
gather them out.
Oh my god. Okay, who's next for the moment of joy? Who's next?
How about you, Tig?
All right, I guess I'll take one out. Moment of joy, something that made me happy. Oh, honestly, the last few days have been kind of tough. I've been having a lot of flashbacks with the whole Jason R. Day fiasco, bringing a lot of past memories. But something that really just brought back a little bit of a sunshine after the constant amount of rain and thunder we've gotten over here in New York. Just been going through Substack and seeing a lot of people's posts. Just like every now and then, the algorithm just either reads your mind or something. I have no idea what it is, but every now and then it shows you a little poem. And that gives you a little bit of spark, or a post that gives you a little bit of spark, or a video that brings some joy. And I honestly have to thank some people, some of my subscribers and contacts over here in chat. Kimmy Wynn, Natasha K, Neuro as well. Everyone, you guys, thank you so much for the work that you guys do, because we have a lot of people in chat that are also on Substack and also creators, and we all really try hard to support each other. And that's honestly what it's all about. Oh yeah. Also, that I got 150 subscribers on LinkedIn as of like 2 hours ago, so that's something too.
Awesome.
All right, Nero.
So I want to talk about having awesome neighbors, right?
Yeah.
The not joyful part
You
about
just
this
grabbed mine.
is that my uncle died, and I have to go out of state for the memorial. And I have my dogs. My neighbors are going to take care of my dogs for me while I'm gone.
Yeah.
And he's on here twice. But anyways, and these neighbors, they're like always like community oriented, and like Ken especially. I spend most days of the week with them, at least a little bit of the time, and our dogs get along really well. And when I tell them, you know, hey, let's go to Ken's or Ken and Barkley's, my dogs get all excited. They're like, yeah, let's go right now, you know. But I mean, even
Well, there's you puppies.
often,
Oh,
you know, they're like they'll step in and help out, and
yeah, big baby.
I just feel really lucky to have a lot of good neighbors.
Yeah.
Even though our HOA management company sucks.
Oh, I have one of those too. I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do have to say, Nero, that you pretty much stole my piece of joy.
Oh, it's okay.
No,
It's
no,
a
no.
piece.
I want to give a big shout out to my neighbor Molly. Like it's been an honor to have her next door to us, and we share meals and good times and all of that. So that's my little carb of joy.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very nice. Well, I hope I didn't ramble too much, guys.
No,
it was great.
Okay, good. I just, I've never ever been accused of not being able to talk. That's never ever been a problem. So
I like it. We like it when the guest talks more, because that's why we have guests.
Yeah. Well, Julie, it has totally been an honor, and
well, now I actually have a face and a voice and things to connect with you guys. I mean, I've seen you guys on before, but just being able to kind of connect and actually converse, is nice. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to reach out for part 2, part 3, and maybe a part 4. So
yes.
I'll try to read and digest it a little bit more.
One by one, we're gonna get through every nine one of those notes. We're gonna get every single one of those pages down, no matter how many episodes it takes. We're doing it.
See if maybe we can get some other survivors too.
Yeah, we don't have as many little glitchy things too, because that did eat up a little bit of our time too.
Yeah, we did have some tech issues.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
All right.
Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you so
much.
You
bet. Yes.
Hey,
Julie, thanks for having me.
Yeah, stay put for a little bit. When we end the stream, we're gonna converse backstage.
Okay.
I want to thank you, Matt, for being here. Thank you for being here so much. We
thank you, everybody, for coming.
Yep.
Okay. And being patient with us and our very prolonged snag this time, because I think it went more than 10 minutes.
That's right.
But I appreciate all of you for coming, and Julie for coming onto our show, and Nero and Tig for being such great co-hosts. And I want everybody to have a good night.
Yes.
And some joy.
Yes.
Go see
Love.
Clinton Kushner. He just
I
opened
can
up
do
5
this.
minutes ago. Bye,
Right.
people.
Ending
Yes.
stream. Ending stream.
Okay.
All right. Okay.